And we have some breaking news coming in at this hour. Unscheduled DGMO-level talks between India and Pakistan are likely to happen soon. This is the big breaking we are getting at this point in time. Unscheduled DGMO-level talks. DGMO stands for the Director General of Military Operations. DGMO-level talks between India and Pakistan are likely to be held soon. We are given to understand that this is happening as per a request made by the Pakistani side. I'm joined by our correspondent Mohammed Saleh on the phone line. Mohammed, what are the details on this?
Right, Raghavendra, the first thing is this is an unscheduled meeting. This was not something that was expected, but this has been requested for by Pakistan. So this meeting has started roughly at about 2 o'clock this afternoon, a few minutes ago, is what we are given to understand. Now, what Pakistan in this particular DGMO meet wants to raise, Raghavendra, is it wants to, flip the argument around and say that India is the one that has been resorting to unprovoked ceasefire firing along the line of control.
Right.
This is what has been accused by Pakistan, for which India has, of course, responded by saying that that is not the case at all, because every single time there is a ceasefire violation which takes place at the line of control, it is in fact Pakistan that has been that has been indulging in this. Now, the Pak DGMO alleging the Indian security forces resorting to unprovoked ceasefire firing, it's almost bizarre. It's like a thief turning around and accusing the police, saying that, look, you are indulging in something bizarre. So the Indian side, of course, has responded. They have said that, look, there is no basis for the allegations which the Pakistani DGMO has, of course, been alleging. And at this point of time, this is, of course, Pakistan crying foul for a crime that it is well known across the world for having committed at the line of control.
Indeed, Mohammed, and if I remember correctly, it was only a few weeks back that the Pakistani side had in fact sought an official DGMO meeting, a scheduled meeting, and even in that meeting they had raised the question or the point of alleged ceasefire violations by the Indian side, and at that time the Indian side had communicated that if the Indian territory would come under fire from the Pakistani side, the Indian army had all the right to respond to it, and that is precisely what it was doing. This particular talks which are happening right now, the unscheduled talks at the DGMO level, clearly, the level of ceasefire violations which have happened from the Pakistani side, we have been reporting for the past few days and weeks, the numbers have more than doubled already as compared to last year. Pakistan has been violating the ceasefire agreement signed between both the countries almost on a daily basis. Clearly, it seems to be an attempt to divert attention from its own actions and put the blame on India.
That's exactly correct here, Raghavendra. Now, let's give a perspective as to how this actually plays out. Ceasefire violations just do not happen for the heck of it because some soldiers at the border feel that, this is what needs to take place. Because it is a concerted strategy on the part of the Pakistani side that they indulge in ceasefire violations. Very largely, this is something that's been noticed, and this is something that can be backed up with empirical data, predominantly and fundamentally as cover fire for infiltrators to cross through the line of control.
Absolutely.
So ceasefire violations essentially are cover fire, which Pakistan, indulges in to provide, some window of opportunity for these infiltrators to cross across the border. Now, Pakistan is well known to cry victim whenever it is cornered with facts, because, Pakistan is also the biggest, let's put it this way, the factory of terrorism. And on the other hand, it says that it also is a victim of terrorism. In this instance, in these DGMO-level talks, what Pakistan is, of course, raising is that they've been saying, look, we are the victims of ceasefire violations which are carried out by India, which is just not in any way supported by facts. Because the facts on the ground are very clear. Ceasefire violations happen. They do not happen in void. They do not happen for no reason at all. They happen very simply and fundamentally because Pakistan wants to provide cover fire, distract the attention of the Indian security forces to try and see if, these militants can actually infiltrate across the border.
Absolutely. Hold that thought, Mohammed. I'm also joined by our political editor, Kartikeya Sharma from the newsroom. Kartikeya, Pakistani side seeking unscheduled DGMO-level talks with the Indian side. How do you view this?
I'm not at all surprised because you have to factor in one thing, Raghavendra, that the passes are going to close in. Some of the passes have already closed in. Other passes will close in by 10th of November, which means that those who have already gone inside will stay inside and will be part of the terror network, and those who are outside will stay outside. It's not as if a Kargil 2 or 3 is going to happen. I think generally what Pakistan tries to do is to ensure a sort of a modicum of normalcy, at least on the line of control. It does not mean that this will not translate into further attacks, or does not mean that it will not translate into attacks on cantonments or high-value police officers or high-value military officers.
Right.
But what it does is it tries to create an ensemble of normalcy in and around LOC, so that at least there is some sort of movement of people here and there. Because if you go to Arispura sector, you must have been there, or many areas of Jammu, a lot of people have to go to the other side to do farming. So, and it's not as if the Indian farmers have to go there, the Pakistani farmers are also working there.
Right.
So probably it has to do with the time and season. I really don't see it as a thaw or anything. It's just to facilitate certain of their own things, and to in the process allow Indians their little own thing.
Right. Thank you so much, Kartikeya Sharma, for joining us with those updates and perspective.